I'm Willow Bradner, the accidental psychic, and we are speaking about the anatomy of overwhelm. And what does that mean? Overwhelm is the thing that gets in the way of our intuition. We can't necessarily hear our intuitive voice when we are so busy controlling everything. And really, overwhelm isn't a matter of your to-do list. We all have those. We all have laundry. We all have to go grocery shopping. We all have to go to our jobs. What overwhelm really is the essence of over-controlling or overly avoiding your life. And in order to really get into the place of intuition, which frankly, if you really want to control anything, you really, really, really want to get in touch with your intuition, because your intuition is an invitation every single day for you to live from your higher self, to really understand what is your passion, what is your purpose, and what is true for you, what is really true. We have 3 control items, and that is controlling others, controlling what has not happened yet, and this last little one. What is the truth? What is the truth? This is big because we love to get involved in gossip. We love to get involved in the news. We love to plan a wedding day that doesn't have rain in it. We love to control the uncontrollable, and we love more than anything else to get anxious and messed up about it. We cannot control other people's opinions about us. We cannot control what's happening in the news and in the world. We cannot control whether or not it's going to rain on your wedding day. So we really want to focus on what is true. And what I mean by that is what is true right now for you. That is what we can control. And more, that's where your intuition is. So when you find yourself spinning out and trying to control or trying to solve or trying to create solutions for things that are outside of you, ask yourself what's true. And it'll bring you zip right back here, and it'll remind you to listen inside and turn the TV off, walk away from your cell phone, lose touch with the friends who are gossiping, and just remember to be true to you, because that is something you can control. That is actually in your control, is you. That's our last piece of control. We're going to move next into this idea of avoidance. Avoidance is something that I think is way more ignored. And I want to say avoidance, but I also want to use the word apathy, because I think a lot of us in avoidance turn into this apathetic state of mind where we are avoiding and or complacent and or pretending we don't care, which is apathy, pretending we don't care. So the question really is, if you're in that avoidance, if you're in possum phase, you're curled up, you're hiding out, you don't want anybody to look at you, you don't want to be a part of anything, you've turned the ignition off of life, are you avoiding what you don't want? And what I mean by that is, if you are being told to do things, take out the trash, do the laundry, go to a job maybe you don't like, if you're being asked to do things that you don't want to do, are you avoiding that? Are you turning off because you don't want to ask for what you want? Or maybe you don't know what you want. That can be part of the avoidance and apathy as well, as we don't know what we want. But often if we're in the place of we don't know what we want, it's because we are afraid to ask for what we want. And maybe there's truth there. Maybe what's true is what you want is something you don't believe you can have. And so we turn into this apathetic sort of mess. And last is, what are you afraid of? Because when we avoid, it's because we're afraid. We're really, 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 really scared. We're scared of something. So naming that fear, what are you afraid of? Avoidance is going to keep us the furthest from our intuition, because we're just turned off, we're turned down, there's nothing working. It's like all systems are fail. Battery's empty, we're drained. And it takes so much energy. When you think about it, from a controlling standpoint, there's so much energy to control. There's so much energy. People who are in control of their lives, whether that be good or bad, people who are controlling other people's lives, controlling the future, really in charge of their to-do list, type A-ing all over the place, have you ever noticed how much energy they have? They almost won't shut up, but their batteries are packed full and they've got so much energy there. And then if you notice the people who are more apathetic, avoiding, have you noticed how little energy they have? That's how much energy it takes to avoid the basic living in life. Avoiding uses every ounce of your battery. Avoiding is not showing up, and not showing up isn't in our DNA. It's not even in our ability. To avoid is to die. To avoid is to not breathe. To avoid is to not show up. And what are you afraid of? What are you hiding from? What is so scary out there? The sooner you name it, the sooner you get back your energy, the sooner you come into just turning the key on and igniting your soul and igniting this idea that you have passion in you. Admitting that there might be some passion in you just turns the switch on. And just turning the switch on, your intuition comes alive. And suddenly you can start asking that question. What do I want? If you didn't know before, start asking, what do I want? What makes me feel alive? What do I love? Those three questions, what do I want? How do I want to feel? And what do I love? Are going to light up that spirit and take you from avoidance and apathy and complacency and turn the engine back on and get you back on the road and driving again. Because the fetal position, this avoidance, this tired, exhausted, not living position isn't doing you any favors. So it's so important that if you can name that fear, if you can name that thing that is bugging you so much and put words to it, everything shifts, everything changes for you. Absolutely everything changes for you. And the intuition just comes right on. So if you're somebody who is just struggling with the who am I and what do I want, that's the best place to start. Ask every day, what do you want? How do you want to feel? And what do you love? And wait for it. It'll show up, because just asking those questions turned the ignition on. This is Willow Bradner, Accidental Psychic. Peace in.